All praises to Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how to be a genuine mighty man, right? Is very difficult, man, right? To be a genuine, mighty man is very difficult. And then going into how even those kind of people are not going to survive through the day of the Lord anyway. It's not about how mighty you are that's going to get you through the day of the Lord. But I saw this video today, like within the last couple of minutes, and it's a body cam footage of something that happened in at airport over in the United Kingdom. And like this is footage that hasn't really been shown for ages, and I ain't even here to get into the political things about it and how these Edomites are crying all this usual suspects this, usual suspects that, as if they know for a fact that they don't commit several crimes, as if their presidents and prime ministers don't commit several crimes and don't go to jail for it, right? So forget all that usual suspect stuff, two-tier police and stuff, because what I've noticed is that the same talking points they try and sometimes say towards the Ishmaelites is the same thing that they'll then say about Jake. But then obviously there ain't no two-tier police in them, because that would mean that one of us, Jake or Ishmael or Esau, would be getting a different policeman, which is it's just not true, right? It's just not true. You Edomites commit crimes way more than everyone else, and you don't get policed nowhere near as harshly as everybody else does. You already know it. You just want to be able to, what you think would be fair policing would actually be unfair policing, man. Because you Edomites get into fights and scraps outside of nightclubs all the time on a regular basis. You football hooligan mans are always running around causing a ruckus all the time. On every single Friday or Saturday or Sunday, when there's a football game, you're running around, down in pints, acting like complete assholes, and you don't get arrested. And that same behavior is considered normalized, man. So let's not play no games. The usual suspects. I don't feel safe at home. Britain ain't Britain no more. Londanistan, basketball people, 13% of people doing 13% things. Usual suspects. Noticing pattern recognition isn't racist. We was Kangs, right? The religion of peace. All these sayings and slogans that you got to point your finger at everybody else, and never pointing the finger at your own self and taking a beam out of your own eye. Yeah? But what I want to talk about in this lesson, after that rant, is that to be a genuine mighty man is very difficult, man. And you see these two female police officers, right? They try and arrest these two men, and it's two female police and one male police, right? And to be a police officer somewhat takes a bit of training. Like, it's not really that difficult. Like, I think that is like something crazy. Like, you only have to pass level bleep test I think I heard you have to pass bleep test level 6, which is not really that difficult to pass, right? A lot of the time they just have female police officers in the workplace and make them pass because to have something to look at, right? They might fail a male but pass a female when the male's actually passed at a higher level of fitness than the female, man. And it's just like with the army. Everyone enjoys doing their job as an army soldier or as a police soldier, and when the scales aren't balanced in their favor. But the moment things start getting even or uneven, you notice how these police officers and that, they don't really know what they're doing now. This one male officer was able to handle the situation pretty well against two guys, man. He was able to do his thing, right? He was able to pull out the taser and tase one of the guys. He was able to do his thing. But the two female police officers that was against one guy, the guy in the blue hoodie, they proceeded to get smacked up, man. And here's the thing. Everybody knows that men and women are not equal, because the first thing that your people mention when this man starts fighting these two females and not hits the one in the red hair with the left hook and drops on the floor, and then starts hooking up the other one and puts her on the floor as well, the first thing people will notice is her gender. Oh, that's a man fighting two women. They won't say, oh, that's a man fighting two police officers, man. And to be a genuine mighty man is difficult. And I don't really believe that there's much thing as a mighty woman, because the mightiest women will struggle against the average mighty man. And in fact, they might get their head smacked off. Let's just be real. Now, all you women out there that you don't want to accept this, okay, enjoy tying up your boots, yeah, putting on your cargo trousers, putting on your army fatigues, and getting ready, right? Get ready then for what you're going to be facing in World War III, when the war starts to get on the ground level, man. Because to be a mighty man in general is very difficult. Never mind for a woman to try and enter into that world, man. And let me see if I can just skip forward and see. You see, now they're on the floor. That one right there in the bottom left corner is here on the floor. The other one's on the floor. He was able to just throw. He threw about maybe 5 or 6 punches. Was able to drop both of the two women, make them not be in it. The one with the red hair started crying. She almost forgot she was a police officer for a second. She pulled out her taser, but she didn't use it. She just was aiming it. She didn't use it, right? She just pulled it out. The other officer started getting busy. He started blasting man in his head and all that. And he started being like, okay, this is a survival thing. So I'm going to have to use whatever moves I need to use to survive for my own life, which is what a man will get into, man. Whereas the woman, like, where is she? Where is she at? That woman with the red hair. She goes from in this video here to being on the floor. 10 seconds later, where is she at, man? Where is she? Where is she? You see what I mean? Where is she at? Like, she ain't nowhere to be seen, because women are not really genuinely warriors like that. They want to enter into these places of male work to try and get money and all that, right? But really, they're not about that life, man. And when you had this B Simone woman, she was bugging out because she just went from having to shop at Bloomingdale's to H&M. But just wait till this world really starts going bad, and everyone's out here doing a madness to each other, man. Like, men that actually have trained in some form of combat sport, they'll know, right? They'll know how difficult it is. Like, for example, man, I remember back in the day when I used to do like amateur boxing and all that stuff, right? And the amount of times I used to see people on the punch bag, right, looking hard, mean mugging people on the punch bag, pat, 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 thundering it off with 10 punch combos, rolling, slipping and sliding, double jabs, right hands, looking smooth on the bag, man. And then them same guys get in the ring and they're getting punched up, man. Getting punched from one side of the ring all the way to the other side of the ring. But on the bag, you would have thought, man, this guy's going to be the next great thing. But then as soon as they get to the ring, it's not the same thing when it comes to sparring and hitting something that's got arms and legs and a head and a brain to move out of the way, right? And then the same thing with people that used to be experts in sparring. There'd be people that was experts in sparring but never won an amateur boxing match in their life. Every time they have an amateur boxing match, they lose. And then there'd be, on the other end, there'd be people that when they're doing sparring, they're not necessarily even that good, but then they're unbeaten when it comes to the real deal, because they don't take they use their sparring as like a practice. Like, okay, I'll make a mistake here, I'll make a mistake there, but when it gets to the fight, I ain't gonna be getting touched. And there's something about them that when the head guard's off, right, they get in their real mode, man. When the head guard's not on, they're like, okay, it's different now. Or when they're wearing 10-ounce gloves or 8-ounce gloves as opposed to the 12 or their training gloves, they're like, okay, now it's real. Now the distance between me and you is gonna be real, man. And I remember there used to be this this anime which brothers might have seen. It's called Baki, which is basically just where they got these underground fighting championships, and there was one thing where the guy basically was able to start dodging the weapons and the fights from fight moves of this guy, because he changed the rules from a fight to see who was the strongest to win to a fight to the death. And now he was way more advanced, faster footwork, faster reaction time, because now it was serious, man. And that's what women are not used to or accustomed to, that kind of world, because when a woman gets into a situation with another woman, it pretty much goes like this. They like, oh, I'm gonna talk bad about you and ruin your reputation, then we're gonna be friends again. Or I'm gonna talk bad about you and then ruin your reputation. I'm gonna try and call you a slag or a hole. a 304 behind your back. I'm gonna try and talk bad about something because your appearance that you can't change to try and make you insecure, and then we're gonna be friends. Or I'm gonna try and sleep with your man to prove that he would cheat, and then we're both just gonna hate him. We're both gonna call him a dog and try and push the blame away from each other. Whereas among the men world, it don't go like that. If you keep talking reckless to a man, he might send you up to the Heavenly Father, man. That's just the reality of things in the men's world, man. And that's why when women start trying to want to get into the men's lane and you got women that try and think they can try and change, so-called change their gender and enter into the man's world, they can't compete, man. And they try and enter into the man's world, but not as actually really trying to be seen as a man. Because they know if it truly goes to that man way, they get their head knocked off for trying to come with all that. Because they're still just a woman at the end of the day. They're a woman cosplaying as a man, faking and fronting. And there's a reason why it says in the scriptures, let not the mighty man glory in his might, because being physically tough is not going to get you through the day of the Lord, man. It's not. And it's hard enough for men to be able to handle situations, man. To take the toughest guy in the world and put him against 5 wimps. He might be able to dust them off. Now just give one of them wimps a sharp weapon. All he has to do is wait for it to get, all that what they have to do is make the 4 gather his attention, while the 5th one can roll up and just touch them with the weapon, man. It's your human body's weak. Just being touched with that sharp weapon is enough to make that person not be around anymore. The human body's strong, but it's weak too. You can train your body to be able to do push-ups on your knuckles, 100 reps. Like, I've got one of the Guinness World Record books, the Guinness World Record book 2025. Right, it was cheap. I was able to get that, right? And when I looked at some of the physical world records, right, like the amount of push-ups people can do in a day, the longest plank and all of these kind of things, right? Like some of these physical world records are absolutely ridiculous. Like some of the things that these people have been able to train their body to do are amazing. Planking for like hours and all kind of madness. Dead hanging, just hanging from a bar, a pull-up bar for like hours, right? Being able to run bare marathons in a week, in a day and all this, right? In a week. Crazy world record, crazy Guinness World Records, right? But them same people are not even necessarily mighty men, or they'd get punched in the mouth by the right person, they'd be unconscious from one punch. There's stories of men that I remember hearing one story of one of the brothers said, right, where there was some guy that he thought he was some roadman, and on the road where he was able to have a you know what, blicky all this talk, blicky and all this sticky and all this talk that people want to talk about, yeah, a gun, yeah, he was able to have one of those, right? And then when he went to prison because he got arrested for being of that kind of person, the very first day, some man went up to him and just punched him straight in his mouth, knocked his ass out, because there ain't no guns in prison. There ain't no guns there. So the whole playing field is completely different. Then you've got fighters, boxers, kickboxers, Muay Thai, wrestlers, right? MMA fighters, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, flipping Buddhist monks that do all this crazy stuff where they're breaking bars off their head and all this, right? Doing backflips off their head, front flips off their head, right? But depending on the rules of the fight, different fighters are going to win. Like in a brawl, boxers might, 5 boxers versus 5 wrestlers, the boxers are going to dust them off. But then I would say that they would anyway, but then take that same brawl now and make it be one-on-one, a boxer against a wrestler. Well, the wrestler might know how to throw a basic level punch, but the boxer doesn't know how to do basic level wrestling most of the time. Most of the time, that's not how it goes. So the boxer would probably lose most of the time, man, if he doesn't have no kind of defense to take somebody down. But then a crazy madman that's a psychopath with one sharp weapon against a boxer, well, the crazy madman might win. Like that guy in the scriptures, for example, that had Legion on him, right? I bet any MMA fighter right now of this day and age would not be able to have stopped him. He used to get bound with chains and would break free from the chains. Never. So, what do you think your roundhouse kick or axe kick is going to do anything good? Have ate that axe kick and laughed and chased your ass down the street like what's it called, man? Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Michael Myers, them bug outs. or being like the creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Like that kind of guy had too much demons on him to be able to be taken down by fighting skills. Right? And this video is kind of all over the place, but like if you watch this video, you'll see the woman became instantly feminine and a woman in this fight, man. In this ruckus that happened here. She probably I wouldn't be surprised if she's not even a police officer no more, this woman, or if she decides to quit, man. I would not be surprised. Because she's never been hit like that in her life. It was one of them left hooks where that you see in boxing where it's like the person's legs just fall from underneath them. She got up, which she was able to take the punch pretty well, because that punch would have dropped a few men, but she just started crying. She was crying she was crying like she wasn't a police officer, like she was just a straight up civilian that had been attacked randomly by some man. She walked into that knowing that it was a situation, but then as soon as it started getting real, she was crying, man, and that's what women don't understand. To enter into the men's world involves violence. Whereas in the women's world, women get away with doing things all the time to each other, and fights will not really necessarily break out. And even when the fights do break out, women don't really know how to punch. Like I've since I was this is me personally, since I was young and even untrained, knew that when you throw a punch, you're meant to land it with your knuckles, just naturally. And that's for most Jake. We know as Jake men, when you throw a punch, you're trying to land the knuckles. Your foot might come off the ground and all that, but we know the punch is more dangerous and deadly when you land with the knuckles. When women do it, they be doing a crazy hammer fist. They be landing punches with like the middle part of the finger. They be missing with the knuckles, going beat, 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 like throwing about 50 shots on another person. The fights, nothing happens. Women be trying to attack men, trying to fight men, like nothing having to happen to the men. The men are able to eat the shots that the woman's throwing. They're able to handle it, and they're able to make it through, man. Because women are not on the same level as men when it comes to this kind of stuff. They're just not. They want to be, but they're not, man. Whereas men can kind of somewhat handle and enter into the women's world on every category apart from giving birth. Men can enter into the who can clean the best and win. Men can enter into the my dad could cook better than my mother, in my opinion. Right? Apostle Tahar is always going into how he can cook good, because men, the reason why men can cook so good is because men like to eat nice food. Right? And the other apostles vouch that Apostle Tahar can cook good. They vouch, yeah, they're like, man, yeah, and they start, I remember Apostle Gabar, it was funny, I seen Apostle Gabar was reminiscing on a particular dish that Apostle Tahar made, man. Pancakes, I believe it was. Right? Now, that can be done with women. Men can think about women's food like that as well, but women don't want to acknowledge that men are better than them in this world. They don't want to acknowledge it. Women will boast in this world about how they make all this money, right? But then they'll still want somebody to pay for their life. Whereas give any of you brothers out there, right? If you was to get given £20 million in your bank account right now, your woman would never have to work again. But switch it round and your woman gets £20 million. She's not going to be thinking you don't have to work ever again, and you can just now focus on worrying about the scriptures. She's not going to think about that, but you would think about that for her. Because men and women are not the same. Women are selfish, man. Straight up. Women are selfish. Yeah? The first thing that woman would do if she got 20 million is now she's thinking about what men out there have got 20 million. Like B. Simone, when she had that bag and she thought she was killing the game, she was talking about she won't date a 9-to-5 this and a 9-to-5 that. And now she's crying because she has to shop at H&M. And she actually expects people to feel sorry for her. Why should we? Because had she have doubled up on her money, she'd be even more arrogant. She'd be even more arrogant, and women actually really think, I don't understand why they think this, but it goes into how their hearts are snares and nets. Women actually think that when they get more money, they become more attractive to men, and I don't understand why they think this, because with their money, they don't want to buy nothing for the man. For the most of them don't. Most women, when they get money, they don't want to buy anything for any man around them, right? But then they think that their money makes them more attractive to us. Why would it? You're not going to use none of it to help our life. So why is it going to benefit us? Whereas a man, women will take a man that's ugly and fat, snaggletooth, shark mouth, right? Acne all over his face, right? Triple glazing looking glasses on his face, so his eyes look big as hell, right? And then if he takes them off, he look even worse. They'll take some bugged out looking individual, right? And they'll faking and actually genuinely believe in some cases that he's more attractive now because of money. Whereas men, we don't do that. If a woman's attractive, she's attractive to us, to our eyes. Our eyeballs will see that she's attractive. Don't even matter really what clothes she's in. Her face is still gonna look like her face, regardless of her clothing. Whereas among women, women will try and treat men differently, but depending on if he's wearing expensive clothes or not. His face now becomes more handsome in her eyes. If he's wearing Armani, he's handsome. And then the next week he's in a Primark t-shirt, he's not handsome. He's not handsome because he's driving a Nissan Micra. He's handsome because he's in an Aston Martin. He's handsome, he's in a Bugatti. He's handsome, he's in a Lamborghini. He's a nice guy, he's a good man. But we don't do that, man. And that's why all these women are running around trying to compete with men so desperately. You're not going to ever win. You can't win because you're slaves to money. And you can't do nothing to us physically neither. Even the physical things that women are able to try and get away with men with is because they use other men to do their dirty work, man. And videos like this, man, I reckon that any woman that's got a proud attitude, watch this video then, right? Watch this video and see if you think that women are really warriors like that, man, and you'll find that no, they're not. Women are not warriors like that, man. And I'm going to end the video there. I didn't even plan on making the video be that long. I just wanted to talk about how to be a genuine mighty man is very difficult, and how women are not mighty men. And that's why the scripture even tells you in Jeremiah 9:23, don't glory in your might or in your riches. Don't even waste your time glorying in that, because it don't mean nothing. You can go from being strong as hell, being able to run 10 miles, right? Being able to punch the bag for 3 minutes, hard to. You can go from being able to do double underleg takedown, double leg takedowns, all these kind of stuff, and then another mighty man can show up anyway. That will make you look stupid. You can get given a plague of the mind, you can get given a plague of the body, and now all that training that you used to be able to do, you can't do it no more. Anyone that's trained in any length of time, get a lower back injury, and then come and talk back to me about how strong you are. Get one lower back injury, man, and then see how good you are. See if you can lift any weights. If you got to get a lower back injury, lift something then. Or you can do backflips, brother. Or you can do backflips. You can do cartwheels and then turn it into a backflip. Can you do it with a lower back injury? No, you can't. Can you? No, you can't, man. And that's why all this like Hebrew Israelite marching, trying to be a tough guy stuff, trying to march and do this military training and all that, but then at the same time, you're overweight, you're obese, right? You're trying to be leaning on the wall, trying to do the Ali rope-a-dope and that, but you're obese. It's not going to work, is it, fam? Yahweh didn't give us the winning by mighty way of getting out of this. He gave us the faith way. Faith is better than anything, man. Faith's better than understanding, right? Somebody could be able to understand. Like I saw a video today from one of the elders that there was this complete LG 3T, big overgrown puff there, absolute demon. But he was actually able to understand that it's about whether you have the elect or not. But he was an LG 3T, man, like a complete demon. He said something absolutely gross on that video that I saw the elder put up. But yet he understood that it's about the elect. And that's what it is about. There's going to be some elect that could have been mighty men and that are mighty men still. But there's going to be most of the elect are not going to be that. Most of the elect are not going to be men that are strong. They're going to be the weakest physically among Israel. The weakest in wisdom among Israel. The weakest financially for damn sure among Israel. They're not going to be ballers, shot callers and all that. They're going to be men that have been catching hell in their body, ailments of the flesh, all kind of things, man. I'm going to end the video there. Shalom.